Joined now by Tina Griffin, the counterculture mom. Tina, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Well, we've got a pretty outrageous story. There's a pulpy kids novel that's not really a kids novel. It's called After We Collided, introducing all sorts of radical sexual issues to young adolescent kids. But now it's going from a book to a movie. Talk about what's happening here.
Yeah, it's like, what next? You know, there are positive things we're going to be talking about here at the end for options for our teens. But the thing is, pop culture is making all these amazing films, what they think is amazing, out of the books, and they make it look enticing. They have a lot of sex scenes. There's oral sex in this movie coming out. It's called After We Collided. And they make it look so exciting that all these kids are reading the books, then they want to go see the movie. In fact, the first movie that came out after the book, called After, was released, so many fans fell in love with the different characters in the novel and the movie that they actually were pounding Anna Todd, the author, can you please make it an R-rated movie for the second time around? So she did, all geared towards teens. There's oral sex throughout this movie coming out, and it's going to be released on October 2nd. So I want to let parents know that when our kids are reading these kind of books and fall in love with these characters, it happens almost every single time. As more sex is added, now it's oral sex, no pregnancies are revealed, no STDs are revealed in these movies, and now these kids are becoming big fans of a series that Counterculture Mom gives 2 thumbs down on.
Yeah, and so Mom and Dad, you understand what's happening. Because of Common Core and earlier iterations of Common Core, they've really stripped your kids' English class of literature. They're not reading the great books anymore. They're not reading what you and I read, great, engaging great ideas, broad concepts. Instead, all that literature has been replaced with smutty pulp fiction, really, about anti-bullying, about transgenderism, about homosexuality, in this case about radical sex for really young people. And so now it's going from book. The kids are getting titillated with that. Planned Parenthood's behind a lot of this. And now Hollywood is answering the bell by taking this stuff and making it even more sordid. Take a look at the trailer for this movie and remember who it's being geared to, basically late middle school kids and early high school kids.
The entire world is a collection of memoranda that she did exist and that I have lost her. This is our story, Tessa's and mine. We're like an addiction to each other with equal parts pleasure and pain.
You hurt me and I can't forgive you.
Tessa, I want another chance. I'll try, whatever it takes. There's no one else for me, Tessa. No one.
You would, 10 years ago, you would not have got that passed as PG-13, let alone for audiences as young as this audience are being targeting.
That's exactly it. And the scary thing is it comes out in 1 month again, October 2nd, it causes a battle between the parents that want their kids to watch educational, uplifting, God-honoring entertainment. The battle is then with the parent wanting what's best for the kid, for the most part, at least the crowd that we're talking to at Counterculture Mom Ministry, to the kids being pressured or it's trendy and all their friends are reading this book series. And what happens is Anna Todd becomes the parent for the child and not the actual parent. And Anna's actual words were, the more vulgar language and vulgar scenes, the better. We have links to that from our Counterculture Mom app to get the review to see for yourself that these authors are in it for selling the books, selling this message, and in response, it's battle against author, filmmaker, and the parent.
And school. It's also the school that underrides where they first encountered these books. And on top of that, when you look at the books, the trailer for the movie we saw, did you notice how every other human contact was separated away from these two? These are really young people. There was not a mother, not a dad, not a brother, not a sister, not a teacher, not a priest, nobody. It was all about their little burgeoning sexual life, the exploration, that last scene in the shower there. Really remarkably graphic. It's just shocking what they're doing here, and how Hollywood now is what starts in your public schools, what's been written by Planned Parenthood and organizations like Planned Parenthood to get this kind of sexual education into your little middle school kids' classrooms. Now on the other end, it's coming out Hollywood. They're hooking these kids from the time they're about 9, 10 years old right through adolescence. That's
exactly what's going on. And Planned Parenthood and Hollywood, they've been in bed together for years, decades. And the problem is these kids, I tell when these young women, when I've been traveling for the last 20 years speaking, Planned Parenthood sees you as your body as income for them. If they can teach you how to throw a condom on a banana or how to do oral sex relays and condom relays in classrooms around this country, and then tell you what's trendy are these movies like After We Collide, they know not just are they going to make bank at the box office, they're going to make bank when girls are walking in to get a $16,000 abortion.
Meanwhile, we have the VMA Awards, right? This glorification, MTE morphed into this celebration, right? The Video Music Awards, which now were as raunchy as they've ever been. You've had all the usual stars there, Lady Gaga doing her grinding nonsense. But now they aired it primarily, one of the primary ways they aired it was through Nickelodeon. You know, Nick at Night, you know, the little tweeners, the little 6, 7, 8, 10-year-olds now can watch this stuff. It's being marketed right alongside SpongeBob SquarePants, right, on Nickelodeon.
Which was bad enough. I was doing a mission trip over to Japan 20 years ago, and I watched my first episode of SpongeBob. I'm like, I'll give it 5 minutes. It was when I was first speaking on these topics, analyzing pop culture. And there was a character that was dancing around a strip club pole with nylons on, like just stripper attire. And that's on Nickelodeon. They've had a problem now for going on 2 decades. So parents, we cannot rely on what we think is a kid's channel because so many false labels are put on these different organizations, these different platforms. In fact, Planned Parenthood has nothing to do with planning for you to be a parent. It's the exact opposite. So we have to look at the deception even in the names of these platforms, of these TV shows, and of what they're pumping out. Parents have to give their kids positive examples. That's what it comes down to. Be engaged in what your kids are actually ingesting.
Planned Parenthood, planning to get pregnant so you can plan to use us to terminate the pregnancy. How can people find out your information?
Absolutely. They can definitely download the Counterculture Mom app, and at the very top in the menu, you definitely want to get for $3 a month our premium section. It is phenomenal. We have 18 writers on the team. We're constantly pumping out notifications on your phone so you know what's safe for your kids.
Tina Griffin, Counterculture Mom, thanks for the report.